Hi, this is Chris Rosen, Senior Technical Offering Manager for IBM Containers. In this demonstration, I will deploy a container running the Etherpad application and bind it to a volume for persistent storage, as well as a Watson Health question and answer application. I've logged into bluemix.net. Click on Dashboard. Now I can see I'm in my IBM_containers Bluemix organization. I've got several different spaces. In this example, I'll use my dev. Across the top here, I can start whichever runtime I want. First thing I'll do is take a look at my Watson question and answer Cloud Foundry app, which is already up and running. You can see here I have one instance, the amount of memory that's allocated to it, and then the various services that I have bound to this application. I've got an alert notification, which will notify me if certain thresholds are exceeded. And here I've got the Watson Health question and answer. Back to the dashboard, I can select Start a Container. Here I've got my IBM provided images, and the ones that say My Org are images that I've pushed up to my registry. Find the Etherpad Bluemix Watson image, select it. You'll notice that Vulnerability Advisor has flagged this image as vulnerable. So if I click View Report, we can dig a little bit deeper into what VA is reporting. So now you can see that there are 3 vulnerable packages and 5 relevant security notices. If I dig into the policy violations, they're all around SSH server being installed and enabled and some password policies. For this example, I'll go ahead and ignore those and still deploy my image. I can set a name, choose the t-shirt size, which has preset memory and local disk. And here I can either leave it as the default non-routed IP, or I can request and bind a publicly routed IP address. IBM Containers will automatically surface any ports which are exposed in my image. Under the advanced options, I have the ability to assign an existing volume which is required for persistent data. So I've got 2 volumes created. I'll select one and then I'll enter the mount point, which will be used on the actual container once it's created. I could also add an environment variable and bind to any existing Cloud Foundry app. So here I find my Watson question and answer and click Create. After the container deployment finishes, I can see some information as far as the private IP address of my container, the publicly routed IP address that we bound to it, the ports which are currently exposed, the image that it was built from, some default memory utilization, and importantly here across the bottom, the services that are now bound to this Etherpad container which are running. I can also dig deeper into the monitoring and logs along the left-hand side here. By default, I have CPU, memory, and network I/O utilization per container. I can also see the various log files which are being generated. Now I can take my public IP and using port 9080, excuse me, that I've exposed. Now I have access to my Etherpad app, and I can click create a new app, new pad here called Watson. Now inside this Etherpad, I can ask Watson, saying @Watson, ask me, and this is the health Q&A, so it has to be a health-related question. But I'll ask Watson, what causes stress? Enter. And now Watson comes back with some response. Stress is often caused by some type of change, even positive changes. So it's kind of a fun interactive way to show the integration between a container that you've deployed and leveraging any of the 120 plus services that are available in the Bluemix service catalog. Give Watson a try for free on bluemix.net. Thank you.